Comcast. 15 seconds of Whose House? Blumhouse. Say what? The fact that there are people watching this scene asking what that glass box she's standing in is and why she's dialing the phone like that is annoying enough. But what's even more annoying is that some of those people aren't even all that young. Get off my lawn. Having the phone booth at the back of the camp by the goddamn frozen lake instead of the front of the camp like a normal goddamn person would. It's as if this phone booth knows it's in a horror movie and needs the creepiest background aesthetic it can find.
Hello?
Adele and Lionel Richie's Black Phone 2. When the driver's side door of this van is open, the dawn of God is at hand. Kinky. You can up the footage and add your scary intro music, but at the end of the day, this is just somebody having a bit of fun Tokyo drifting their car in the winter. Finn! See, it's different and deep because Finn has now become the bully after his tragic experiences dealing with the grabber and his own bullies in the first film. Do you get it?
Simon LeBon is so choice.
I mean, maybe in an ordinary world you could say this, or if you were somewhere exotic like Rio, but maybe I'll just save a prayer for you before you come undone. Girls on Film.
All right, I gotta get to shop class.
We just saw Ernesto drive in from around the corner, and now his line here indicates that he is arriving at school. So a moment ago when he said,
Finn, great fight, man.
He couldn't have had very much knowledge about the fight at all and was just being a kiss-ass. Also, the actor playing Ernesto is Miguel Mora, who also played his older brother Robin in the first Black Phone. And while I'm not going to give anyone crap for getting work, I will still point out the lazy casting, and you know how we feel about that in these parts.
Here's German band Fex with their new hit, Subways of Your Mind.
Subways of Your Mind was recorded in 1983 and released in Germany in 1984, 2 years after this scene takes place, and in an entirely different country.
Don't tell Dad.
A good way for Finn to not let his dad know he's smoking pot is to close the goddamn door. Sudden flashback is actually a dream, so sudden dream back. This camp experience looked pretty awful even before the murders.
I said I had a bad dream.
I heard you. Just go back to bed.
Brothers. Dreaming. No. Reading. No. Oh, a dream reader. I believe you can get me through the night. Nailed it.
Check it out.
According to their website, Duran Duran seems to believe that this concert on February 13th, 1983 would have taken place between the Rio tour and the Sing Blue Silver tour and did not actually exist. Eat shit, Costco. Also suggesting that the bond is negotiable. Also putting a limit on love.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you.
Going to guess most people have either seen the first Black Phone or, at the very least, understand the basic premise, so I can't figure out for the life of me why the movie chooses to show us the out-of-order sign on this phone as if it's some kind of spooky twist.
Who's this?
Having the ability to truthfully answer a question with your mom and not taking advantage of the opportunities life presents you. Also, this is the other side of the conversation that we saw Hope having at the beginning of the movie, meaning that these two aren't just talking in their dreams, but also across time. It's a huge deal that Gwen can seemingly send information back to her mom, and that will be ignored for the rest of the movie.
The numbers were carved in ice.
The three kids who were killed knew enough to give Hope a phone number to call a future Gwen, who they then gave the initials of the killer's nickname, but they couldn't just remember the name of the killer and give that to Hope or Gwen, or both? Was it necessary to make the rules of the afterlife so convoluted? Ah! And to be clear, that wasn't a response to the jump scare. There just so happens to be math all over Max's shirt.
You came here in your sleep. I heard you leave and I followed you.
Of course, I made no attempt to stop you along the way, and I even let you ride a bike in the road. Partly out of curiosity, but mostly because I was impressed. You see, Gwen realized that the blood she stepped in during her dream is now on her socks in the real world. A salient point that will be ignored in the name of suspense.
I'm not going to be a counselor for junior hires at some weird Jesus camp you dreamed about.
No, you're going to be a counselor in training.
Gwen would be excellent at weird Jesus camp sins.
Dad has been hounding you to get a job, and this is a job that pays.
Unlike all those things that are strictly defined as a job that don't pay.
We could drive off a cliff and not even see it.
I fail to see how this is any better than driving off a cliff and seeing it.
Find out! Found your stray CITs!
You sure? You didn't even ask who they were when you spotted them.
Follow me!
You just immediately invited them in.
How many people made it here?
Just you three!
Otherwise, it wouldn't be so desolate and spooky. And, you know, we got a horror trope this shit, y'all.
I gotta sleep in here alone?
State law requires separate housing for male and female minors. I'd stay in here with you.
But like Mando said, we got a horror trope this shit, y'all.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you.
I can't help wondering why, after all the traumatic shit Finn went through in the last film, why is he even answering the goddamn phone in the first place? Ah! And to be clear, that wasn't a response to the jump scare. It's just that boys aren't allowed in the girls' bunkhouse.
Hello,
penny.
We're going to find out later the grabber can in fact torment and kill any of the living as he so chooses, and outside of Gwen, no one else can see him coming. So why isn't he in the phone booth killing the out of Finn right now? The movie sure as doesn't have a good answer. You wouldn't be able to tell from this scene, but the souls of these children want Gwen to help them, and your guess of why they are so terrible at communicating this is as good as mine. Jeremy.
Talk to Jesus just like that?
Yeah, you think it's weird?
I think it's hot.
He does not.
You think it's hot that I talk to Jesus?
Non-secular skip.
You don't think I'm a freak?
What's wrong with being a freak?
I feel like no would have been a better answer, but you do you, young man, guided by his boner.
What about me? Do you think I'm beautiful?
Envy.
I noticed you slept with the boys. I can lose my camp license for that. Don't do it again.
For a thing that barely has any impact on the movie, they sure are harping on the camp's need to segregate the sexes for all the some time.
Nothing's deader than disco.
Whit Stillman has entered the conversation, and Drew Barrymore's mom is tagging along for some reason.
I'll pray for you.
Saying this to anyone without their explicit consent.
Hello? Who is this? Hope? Hope Adler?
No one ever taught Hope not to give out her information to strangers over the phone. Gwen might be dreaming, but there are coats available in the dream world, right?
It took me a long time, but now I remember.
That you're in this movie? Because I had honestly forgot.
Tell me what you want.
What I have always wanted with you.
Having the ability to truthfully answer a question with zig-a-zig-ah and not taking advantage of the opportunities life presents you.
I want to hurt you in ways that you can't even imagine.
All the ways the grabber tries to hurt him will end up being completely imaginable. This fuzzy dream bullshit was kind of annoying at first, but it's very effective at separating the dream world from the real world. And the longer I spend with it, the more I think the style with its noise and graininess is actually kind of cool. Fine, grab us in back. Hatchet flipping for theatrical flair instead of just vengeancing. I like to think Jason Blum was in his office one day and said to himself, they won't sell me the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street, so I'll just take one of my existing franchises and Nightmare on Elm Street the fuck out of it. And that's going to get Mr. Blum the sins of 1,000 maniacs.
Gwen! Gwen!
Gwen. No one ever brings up the fact that the thermostat on these ovens is clearly broken. Also, the devil gives you the strength to be a vengeful serial killing demon, but doesn't give you the strength to overpower a fucking teenage Duran Duran fan. Barb takes a cast iron pan to the head. The sin is making that a blink and you miss it kind of moment. And the grabber leaves without continuing to try and kill Gwen because reasons.
I'm not possessed, you judgmental wagon.
Is the wagon itself a or is it a wagon that carts around a bunch of and do even come in a bunch? Or would it be like a bushel?
Holy shit.
Mustang, language! You are in the goddamn house of the Lord.
It's him. It's the grabber.
So not only is the grabber back terrorizing Finn and Gwen in her dreams, but he also conveniently went to the same camp that Finn and Gwen's mom worked at, and at the same time? This almost makes it seem like Finn was a targeted victim for the grabber, but based on everything we saw in the first movie, that doesn't hold up at all. This is the most ridiculous slasher sequel twist this side of finding out Michael Myers and Laurie Strode are brother and sister.
That's Bill.
Giving a terrifying horror movie slasher the name Bill.
Wild Bill Hickok. WBH.
Throughout the movie, we've seen 3 different victims float up and carve a letter into the ice to give Gwen a clue about the murderer's identity. Yet there will never be any good reason why the initials WBH were more easily remembered in the afterlife than Wild Bill Hickok.
And his spirit was set free to come back here.
Okay, but why would he do that?
Maybe his spirit draws power from the fear of his victims because their spirits are not at rest.
Oh. Also, it's equally possible that Wild Bill just likes s'mores. Gwen's speculation will be treated as fact by everyone here instead of speculation.
But didn't the police search the local lakes?
No, why would they? The lakes were frozen over when the boys went missing.
30 years from now, there will be a true crime podcast about how this investigation was mismanaged because the police couldn't fathom the idea of a hole in the ice.
Okay, so if we find Felix, Cal, and Spike, allow them to rest, as you say, that would get rid of the grabber's power?
I think so. Yeah.
Everything they will do from here on out will be based on the unimpeachable nature of the phrase, I think so, yeah.
At dawn, we head to Lake Maru and look for those boys.
Considering Kenneth said earlier,
It's 3 o'clock in the morning!
When Ernesto was looking for Gwen, and this has to be at least an hour or so later, isn't it already almost dawn? Any fear created by throwing this snowman up against the window is quickly diffused by the question of how is it bleeding? The grabber is doing nothing right now, giving Finn time to get high, and he doesn't even take advantage of possible weed-based paranoia and with him a bit.
The devil's letters It's not allowed in Camp Alpine property.
That's Ganjust. No one will be seated during the hot, sweeping, and searching action on a frozen lake. We won't be needing this anymore.
Me and Ernesto are gonna take shifts watching you, so if you have another nightmare, we'll wake you.
Whoa there, boys are not allowed in the girls' bunkhouse. Mando could lose his license.
What if you can't?
Then fight back.
You could be like a dream warrior. What a strange combination of words that just came to me now and are in no way something that could be attached to another horror franchise. Choosing to sit on the bed your sister is trying to get some sleep in when there are a ton of empty beds to choose from. In this Of the True Events Behind Hope's Death, we see her go to investigate the disappearance of the paperboy all by herself. And she pulls into the suspect's driveway with her lights on. I mean, it's kind of surprising she lived as long as she did. The grabber is taking a break from trying to kill Gwen to deliver this flashback exposition. And the why of his actions can only be summed up as
A kindness to you.
AKA the script told me to. Also, even though Gwen is well aware the grabber can hurt her, maybe even kill her in her dreams, she still chooses to get in his van after he motions to her.
I am a bottomless pit of sin.
My morning mantra somehow made its way to the script.
Hello?
You have to hide.
Chances are she would already be hiding if she hadn't stopped to answer the phone on the off chance that you had something important to tell her, Felix. When Mando finds the first body, instead of notifying anyone, or more specifically the authorities, he decides to fish the body out himself, as if it were his dying wish for this discovery to also die with him.
You with the dinosaur.
Only with the consent of the dinosaur, right, Gwen? Even if the grabber wasn't trying to kill him, this would still be the worst way to attempt opening a safe hole in the ice. And it ignores the fact that a moment ago he was using an ice auger like a sensible person. Once again, if the grabber is able to affect the real world this easily, then why isn't he just going after Finn? Gwen survives, whatever the this is.
Fight back!
We're the Dream Warriors. Don't want to dream no more. I mean, it's insane, right? They're not even hiding this shit.
I chose to come here, and I can leave when I want. I understand now.
Okay, Neo.
There you are. You okay?
Finn, Gwen, and their father all show up randomly at the same intersection, and not a single one of them finds this uncanny and worries that they might be dreaming.
He's after her, Dad.
Who's he?
Him.
This pronoun game combo move.
You don't know what it was like down there. Nobody fucking knows. I was so fucking scared.
It makes a ton of sense that this kid is traumatized from the events of the first movie, and I have to applaud this sequel for acknowledging that it can take time for a person to process traumatic and that just because a life is saved and the credits roll, that doesn't mean the characters are going to be okay. So I'm giving this movie a sin for teasing a Black Phone 3 that's just Barbara and Kenneth going to therapy.
It wasn't your fault, Dad.
Oh my God.
The grabber allows them time for revelations and emotional processing instead of just, torturing and killing them and because movie. He is apparently a great ice skater on top of everything else. I hope he takes the time to give us an encore, or at the very least, a curtains call. Going to rip the bottom of my mask off because, well, I'm honestly not sure why I just did that, but here we are. Gwen is dreaming, but we've been led to believe that she can die in her dreams, and that would have an effect on the real world. But for some reason, that logic does not seem to include death by asphyxiation. The grabber is trying really hard to break this ice instead of just pushing the cable in the water, which makes little sense based on the newly established rules of this game. Terrence survives this. Before, it seemed like dreams were the primary battleground in which he could attack, since Gwen only ever faced him in her dreams. But now he can attack anyone, anywhere, and they can even fight back, and it's confusing.
The boys are found. You're powerless.
It is still very unclear why you think that is a rule. Finn is smashing the grabber's face into the ice like he's fighting an invisible man, and the fact that more of this kind of thing wasn't happening the entire movie is unfortunate. Ernesto has been sitting here on the sled contributing nothing to the situation, and Gwen finds that hot.
You did good, Dad.
Although, considering he's probably soaking wet in freezing temperatures after diving into the water, might want to get him indoors before he gets hypothermia and dies. Just a suggestion. Not having the plow truck go in front of the car.
Excuse me, sir. I think I speak for everyone here when I say that we would enjoy silence more than the sound of your voice.
Hello?
Do you want to die tonight, Cece?
Who is this?
Who is this? Leave me alone! Damn it!
That actually hurt my hand. Thanks, Ernesto.
Hey, Ernie.
Do you want to hear my big idea? I'm going home to make a pretzel sandwich!
Christian camp.
I am not afraid to say this. I hate pretty much every single religion in the world.
Don't get drunk.
I'm drunk now.
Who is this?
Leroy Jenkins!
Another glorious God-given day here at Camp Alpine Lakes. Are you ready, kids?
Are you sure?
I know him and I know his face.
That's
Mr. Ethan Hawke.